Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We should go and... I'm on a quest. Finishing off a side quest here. That's what I'm trying to do.
What will happen now?
Our last supper, with only one but very filling course, awaits us.
Crazel, please. For once, just once, tell me what's actually going on.
And rob myself of enjoying your blissful ignorance? Not a chance. Tell me yourself, what do you think is going to happen?
You'll give me another job. You'll tell me what's going on.
Well, hopefully I'll finally find out what the point of all this was.
Or not, until you try another dose of niter.
I wouldn't do that to him. Not today. Bonnie will start today. At least I'll finally see if she understood my teachings. Bonnie?
First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the whole gang for all the work you've done. We could never have finished the job without you. We found 2 new partners, you and Monarch here. It's good to have someone to rely on. So, it's time we started being honest with you, so you can finally learn the whole truth.
Not yet. Let's pull up that uppity bastard's leg a bit longer. That's the fun part.
Never mind him. Speak.
All right then, this whole time you've been collecting ingredients and clues for us. But, so you wouldn't go nosing around, we always told you it was for something different than it actually was.
The miller here calls it tackets.
Tactics, you idiot. And everything worked out according to plan. So today we're finally close to our great success.
Raining again.
With the help of Hermes Trismegistos and his successors, we'll finally complete the dream of all alchemists. Our magnum opus.
Exactly, Bonnie.
Magnum opus. A great work of alchemy. You're trying to make the Philosopher's Stone.
I see you've learned something after all. But no, the Philosopher's Stone isn't our goal.
Let's see then, Henry. What is it you think we're making here?
An umbrella, gold, Russian weapons, the elixir of immortality.
You're trying to find a cure for death. An elixir of immortality?
Well, Henry's not too far from the truth after all, don't you think? Immortality is the goal of every scholar. At least the spiritual kind. Let's start at the beginning. My father was a miller as well, but I was never much interested in the trade. Even as a young boy, I loved running around Lower Samine and investigating everything living and dead. And I had a lot of questions about everything. Then my mother, God rest her soul, decided it'd be best for me to go to study in Prague. As soon as I grew up and gained a bit of sense, I packed my bags and left.
So you went to a university in Prague? The son of a miller?
Why not? My father worked his arse off, and he had the coin for it, miller or not. I met a lot of remarkable people at the university, and my thirst for knowledge kept growing. But in the end, it only took a year of all that pretentious, scholarly blathering and hypocritical nonsense for me to realize I wouldn't learn anything proper there. Most of the students and masters are just a bunch of dogmatic fools. They have their own truth, and those who want to know more or ask the wrong questions fall into disfavor, as was my case.
He kicked you out?
You left your studies?
And I'm glad I did. The most important science is not subject to any religious dogma. And, of course, it's not taught at any university.
Say nothing.
The art of combination and dissolution. The key to understanding the very nature of the world. There's only one queen of science. Alchemy. I returned to the mill in Lower Samine and started a new life.
Keep it short.
What did your parents say when you returned from your studies?
My mother had already passed away. All my father said was, I knew you'd be back. And he sent me to haul sacks of flour. I think in the end he was glad to have someone to take over the mill from him. From then on, alchemy became my true passion. I brought a few important books from Prague. I started with the most difficult thing. I tried to create gold.
That was pretty daring of you.
As you might expect, it didn't work. But after a few tries, I managed to create something entirely different. Once I tried mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. I had a candle burning next to me. A gust of wind scattered the mixture. And all of a sudden, bang! I almost shit myself, I tell you. But then I realized I'd unwittingly created a miracle. Explosive black powder.
What is it? So it burns?
More than that, it makes a big bang.
A very big bang. But don't worry, we're all in on it now.
I couldn't continue my experiments on my own. But Bonnie and Zinnik did a few little jobs for me.
So he initiated us.
But we just still didn't know how to do it right and not blow ourselves up in the process.
And we used up a huge amount of saltpeter and sulfur.
By the way, the manuscript from that Hermes
Raining again.
Trismegistos was our shopping list and price list for material from Kuttenberg.
Only we didn't know correct proportions. I looked up a few of my former fellow students and brought it up with them. And we found out that before us, some monk had already made the discovery.
Some fella called Black Bertold. And that he even started writing a book called Feuer...
Feuerwerkbuch.
We couldn't believe our luck when we found out there's a copy of it right here at Trotsky.
And you know the rest.
It's a discovery that will change history. In the right hands, it can make miracles happen. All it takes is a spark. And a storm of fire will sweep away the old world order. It will wipe out stupidity and ignorance, once and for all.
And what will happen now?
As I said, we're about to have our last supper on our journey to satisfy our hunger for knowledge. A feast of smoke and fire. Black Bertold never finished his book, because he never had enough ingredients for his last great
Too
experiment.
wordy.
But now, thanks to you, we do.
You're not going to stand out here in the rain with
Finish
these lengthy
Bertold's work.
conversations going on.
Finish his book.
I've heard it. Now I want to see that with my own eyes.
Let's do it then. Bonnie, is everything ready?
Indeed it is. We can get started.
Yeah. Well, at least the rain's gone. If it was raining, you'd be in trouble.
Looks like it ain't working.
I'd say it works just fine.
This will change history.
What? I can't hear a thing. But I'd say it works just fine.
New codex entry, Billers. Pause to read. Got any more new ones while I'm here? In the Codex. Yeah, executioners. Egypt and Rome in Europe. It reappeared again in the 13th century. Executioners themselves lived on the fringe of society. Hanging, breaking on the wheel, burning at the stake and torture, as well as quartering and beheading. Events. The Golden Age of Charles IV. And locations. The Bakov is added.
This stuff.
As long as you listen to me and
Oh,
keep the
maybe
proportions right, you won't fuck it up.
I might actually listen to you if my ears ever stop ringing.
2 available perk points now. Speech. Polished wares. Better prices on your potions, herbs, recipes, books. Hustler. Battle cry. Dreaded warrior. 10% better prices on that. I'll take that one. Also a point available in thievery as well. If you fail to steal an item when pickpocketing, you won't be detected by your victim. But it's got a 3-minute cooldown on it. If a guard searches you, there's a 33 chance he won't find stolen items on you. Thief's eyes. It's easier to sell stolen items to traders. You can also recognize which stolen items can safely be sold in the location you're in. These will be marked by a white hand instead of a red one. Beware though, they are still regarded as stolen and will be confiscated if a guard searches you. Some interesting ones in thievery. I'm going to get rapid flight, I think. Let's get it. That quest is done.
Just didn't catch immediately.
I told you there's no need to dip it in resin and wax. Better to use rushes, boiled in wine.
Very well, if you say so. We'll try rushes next time.
I'd also like to take a look at that book, Crazel.
In due time, Piney. In due time.
You notice on the map there's some other stuff here. To ask around in the lair about poachers. Hey, Bonnie.
Gamekeeper Varrel sent me into the forest to look for a poacher. I hope you don't have anything to do with it.
I don't have time for poaching. But it's true, you can sometimes hear some bastards on the hill above us. But none of them has dared to come down here. I reckon they're afraid of getting into a chat with Zenek and having their day ruined.
Thanks. I'll search deeper in the forest then.
Find the poacher in the forests. Which is on the map. Skill teacher here. Alchemy bench as well. New quest may be available.
Why do you work for the miller?
Because he pays well and don't care how much coin I make on the side.
You mean by stealing?
And he doesn't ask any stupid questions.
What did you do before?
I got by any way I could. Believe it or not, I started in a convent.
You? A nun? Well, why not? I was in the cloisters myself for a while.
Oh well, different people have different fates. But we all ended up here anyway, in the armpit of the world.
What do you think about Crazel?
You're another one of those that don't know if they should love him or hate him, right? Crazel is his own man. Once you learn to get along with him, you can't help but admire him a bit. But sometimes, he's unbearable as soon as he opens his mouth.
Black powder? I'd never have expected that from Crazel.
Imagine, that monarch of ours is half deaf.
That dog of yours? What does that have to do with the gunpowder magazine?
Just that I was wondering that the explosions didn't bother him at all. At least he won't suffer here. And now I'm not surprised he was so unhappy with that bastard Vesarek.
Time to wash. You're in the way.
Why do you work for the miller?
Well, how can I put it? Anywhere else, they'd have kicked me out by now. The miller's the last person who'd still give me a job. He says every idiot is of some use at least.
And you see that as a compliment?
I see a coin in my hand every week. That's all I care about.
What did you do before you started working for the miller?
A bit of this, a bit of that. When I was still a boy, I stirred lye at a tannery, and then I slaved away at a dye house. But since I came to the town, it's been, well, let's say not exactly honest work. But that's what I'm best at, see?
What do you think of Crazel?
Is this some kind of test or what? I can think what I want, and I keep my opinion to myself. And you ought to do the same.
So game map.
Black powder? Well, now.
You didn't expect that, eh?
We're in the middle of the forest next to a mill. Who'd have expected exploding trees?
Aye. Well, never judge a firework book by its cover.
Did Crazel tell you that joke?
Corva, how do you know that? Anyways, I hope the miller gives us a bit of extra coin now things has finally worked out.
In the worst case, you can go back to licking the walls of pigsties.
But next time you'll be coming with me. Farewell.
We can do alchemy here. Easy lockpick. Hi. Well, there you go. I think I shall head off and
Good.
I'm gonna head off and see what I can do around here. Maybe head up and explore that way if I can. Thanks for watching. See you next time.